The most competitive survivors are getting nerfed, and the improvements to the Nightmare bot may have actually had a reason behind it that we didn't know of. For more news like this, stick around for this week's episode of This Week in Identity 5. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of This Week in Identity 5, where we discuss the aftermath of last week's update and we discuss what we can expect from this week and future updates, as well as some rumors and some leaks. We have some interesting news and maybe some interesting kind of implications to what we might be expecting in the future. But before we get into that, let's discuss the aftermath of last week. With the last update, we received the new essence with the S tier skin for Mercenary, A tier skins for Soul Weaver and for Painter. I personally did not receive any of those skins, but I did receive some B tier skins and they aren't too bad, I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty good. I must say I'm very impressed with the Mercenary skin. I do like the effects, although I do believe that they're going to be fixing some of the kind of resolutions of the skin, improving its appearance a little bit, because apparently some people weren't too happy about that, but hey, we'll see. We also got, with the recent update, we got the back to school event that, yeah, it was actually pretty decent. We got quite a lot of different things from it. We got some graffitis and we got some portraits, as well as some fragments and stuff that I'm pretty sure the whole community does appreciate, because, you know, everyone's trying to save up right now for different skins, because it does feel like they've released a ton of skins that everybody has wanted. You know, from the patient skin that we also got and the psychologist skin that are the B tier skins that came out in that package last week, 2 weeks ago technically. Everyone wanted to get those skins, and I'm pretty sure everybody at least got one of those two skins for themselves, because psychologist and patient are quite popular. They also released the Wu Chang skin in the Frost skin like 2 weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure that people really wanted to get that skin as well before it ran out. Yeah, I feel like this has been a very insane time to use all of your fragments, and I'm pretty sure there's still more to come. One of the other updates that we got, that was the big one from last week, was the unlimited snowballs in Leo's memory. I haven't tested it out and I didn't pay attention to it. I almost forgot that that thing was even a thing until today, so I guess I'll have to pay more attention when I play Survivor in Leo's memory. Usually I play more Hunter nowadays, so I'm not really sure. The AI bot for the Nightmare bot can now repair chairs. That's what came with last week's update. I haven't played against the Nightmare bot for quite a while now, but I think that I may need to because of some things that are coming up soon. We also got tons and tons of bug fixes. It feels like they're on a roll right now with the amount of bug fixes that they're releasing, because it seems to be like they have paragraphs of text that they're fixing. It used to be usually 5 to 10 bug fixes. Nowadays, I don't know how many there are, but it feels like there's a lot more. Some of the funny ones that I thought were interesting was that there was a bug where the survivor, when being put on a chair in the first Hunter tutorial, so people who are starting the game for the first time, the survivor who was put on the chair wouldn't fly away, but the chair would. I'm pretty sure that a lot of Survivor mains would like to not be able to get rocket chaired away, and I'm pretty sure that netties would probably do that. Another funny bug that happened was that Toy Merchant could fly outside of the map in Lakeside Village, that I don't really understand how that happened, and I would like to see if anybody knows of anyone who has recorded this. I would love to see what happens, because I'm interested if it just, you know, you end up in the grey or black area where there's nothing there at all. But yeah, if you want to read through all their other bug fixes, there were some other ones that are notable, but they are really specific to different characters, and maybe there was a problem that got fixed that you were looking for. Still nothing to do with any updates towards ping or anything like that. My ping still continues to climb slowly every month. I'm not really sure what they're going to do about that, if they're going to do anything at all at this point. This week's update is a little bit lackluster in the way that they haven't really announced very much, and I don't expect it to be a very big patch. There's probably going to be quite a lot of bug fixes. Some people are really excited about this, and I am too, because I love DreamWitch with a big passion. Mini DreamWitch pet is going to be available. I've been talking about wanting to have her as a pet for a very long time. Over 6 months, possibly around a year by now, but I'm not sure. But I've really wanted her as a pet, and it's really good to see that they're making her into a pet too. I haven't seen any of the animations, but I have seen the art. What we can also expect with this week's update is that we have the mechanic's birthday coming in on the 13th of this month. By now she should have her avatar and her border, so if you already got the avatar from last year, then you should be able to get the border this year. If you haven't, then you'll get the avatar, as well as fragments and stuff for completing the missions on her birthday, complete different matches. Although those may seem a little bit lackluster, we do have some very interesting things that have been rumored and leaked. So first of all, we've got the Promised Neverland skins that have all been revealed as far as I know, unless they're going to give us some extra items or secret things that they haven't told us about yet. The last one that they announced was the skin for Entomologist that I believe is supposed to be the S tier, for the character Mujika, I think. I've just started watching the second season of The Promised Neverland, and I do like the characters. I'm not that far into it yet, but I'm working my way onto it. Very different than the first season, but I can understand why they chose these characters. One thing that they have announced is that they are probably going to nerf some of the competitive survivors. Apparently a lot of players have been asking for them to nerf them for a while because there hasn't been much of a change in the meta. There's only been a couple more additions instead of some characters leaving the meta. And I believe that a lot of people have just got a bit tired of seeing the same characters played over and over again. NetEase has announced that they are going to be working on adjusting them and nerfing them, and I'm really interested in seeing what they're going to do, because it's about time that the game really got a big shake-up, and I'm pretty sure that they have already thought about this, but maybe this just pushed them a little bit further. Connected to the actual gameplay itself, they have also announced that they might be working on a couple more quick messages for you to apologize in a match, but I don't really know what they are going to add because I'm pretty sure that sorry is already in the game, so what other things would you need? They are also debating whether to add more bans into rank and into 5v5. This is something that I think is very necessary because it feels as if they are currently letting survivors run rampant. There are so many good survivors nowadays and not as many competitive hunters. You can pretty much play any survivor now and you'll have a chance at winning because they are all pretty decent nowadays, but with hunters it's not really the same. By giving a hunter an extra ban slot might be a very useful idea, especially in the high tiers of course, but maybe in lower tiers it would be nice to have that as well, because yes, I think it's very difficult to have to choose between mechanic, prisoner, mind's eye, priestess, seer, and mercenary. You have to ban one of those, then now you know you're going to have to deal with at least one or two of the other ones. So yes, they have also announced that there are going to be some new skins coming out. There's going to be a limited S tier skin for Forward, and there also should be a S tier Embalmer skin coming out sometime soon, or at least within the next few months. Because Forward hasn't got much love recently as far as I remember. He did get that train skin not too long ago. I can't remember if that was an S tier or an A tier skin though. They've announced as well which character is going to get a skin next season in the logic path, and that is going to be Priestess. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it. One of the biggest things that's probably going to affect NetEase right now is the fact that they have a new ban in China, a new law that prohibits under 18-year-olds from playing video games in general for more than 3 hours per week. This is difficult for NetEase, I can imagine, because once again their player base is mostly Chinese, and I can imagine that a huge percentage of them are below 18. So I'm not really sure how this is going to affect NetEase overall. Maybe this can push them to focus a little bit more on Europe, but I really doubt that that will do much for them. What that does mean though, and what they have announced, is that they are probably going to be adding the nightmare bots into quick matches, just to be able to substitute the lack of players that will probably be happening in China. This may also mean that we get some nightmare bots in our quick matches as well. And I think this is probably a good idea, but also an interesting one. And I see that the game is slowly progressing towards a time where there are less and less players, and it is almost a little bit worrying. What do you think about this? Do you think that it's worrying, or do you think the game is doing much better than I say it is? Because once again, I may just be seeing this in a completely different light than you. I think this was their plan all along by adding in this nightmare bot, by kind of improving it, because I'm sure that this law has not just been implemented all of a sudden. I'm pretty sure that NetEase has heard of it before. This is why they've been improving the nightmare bot all along. I did say that it felt weird that it was that they kept on adding adding it and then improving it and working on it. So maybe this was the reason, because they wanted to make sure that there were enough bots that could properly challenge survivors. So we'll see. But it is a little bit worrying for the future of the game, but also I'm glad that they are doing something and not just letting the game completely fall apart when there are nobody playing it anymore because there are no hunters. Moving on to the talk in the manner section of the video, where I read some of the comments from my last videos and I respond to them. The first comment is from Desperiac, who says, "To be honest, we all know the best hunter is Enchantress. I know, she's too dangerous. She keeps on hunting hunters, and it must say that even when you are playing hunter, it does feel like survivors are hunting you more than you're hunting them. Especially if you have a batter or a seer on the team. And yeah, they spend half their time just staring at the hunter or bullying them." Ratto says, "That intro was actually cool." He's referring to the intro that I did for the Wu Chang video, and I had a little bit of kind of creativity and I wanted to try out a different style of editing in the last video that I published. So I hope you guys liked it. I'm trying to make it a little bit more interesting to watch, a little bit more interactive to watch, you could say. So I'm glad you guys liked the intro. I had a lot of fun doing it. Mr. Hitman says, "Next video idea, why Lucky Guy is the best survivor." Maybe I will do that. But I already do have a pretty good video as to why Lucky Guy is not played in competitive or in the game at all, really. So if you want to go and check that out, I will leave a card up above somewhere. Dino Gameplays leaves a comment on my video that I did for the Eternal Return last Thursday saying, "I didn't know about this game." Yeah, this game, Eternal Return, is a ton of fun, and I play it a lot in my spare time, about as much as I play Identity V when off stream, at least. I mean, I do recommend that you guys check it out. It is a lot of fun, and it runs pretty well on even low tier computers, so yeah, I think you guys should check it out. It's a lot of fun. It is a little bit of a learning curve at the beginning, but once you've got a hang of it, it is a lot of fun. What do you think about the current situation with adding the nightmare bots into quick match? Do you think that they will do it in our server? And if they do this, how do you think this will affect the game as a whole? Tell me down in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to keep yourself updated with news about Identity V every single week, every single Tuesday. Take care, guys.